Will the Dark Knight be able to uncover who turned the League of Assassins and the Secret Society of Supervillains against each other? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman issue number 122, the second part of Shadow War, and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book proper, Batman, alongside the DEO's own Cameron Chase, are going over the crime scene from the end of the Alpha issue. Ra's al Ghul had turned himself over to the authorities and was promising to share Lazarus tech with the world, only to be shot and killed by someone dressed as Deathstroke. Using his high-tech bat gear, Batman tries to three-dimensionally recreate the crime scene, and if you're eagle-eyed like me, you probably noticed there's an art inconsistency here. Mainly, Ra's looks like the way that he is always shown, not the way he actually looked at the end of the Alpha issue. It might be a small nitpick, but I know if I didn't mention it, someone in the comments section would. It doesn't take Batman long to figure that whoever this Deathstroke was, he sure wasn't acting like the original article. For one, he fired multiple bullets and only ended up injuring Talia. That's not the Terminator's style, as every bullet he fires is almost always a kill shot. Chase and the DEO have also been running their own investigation, and they think they may know how this fake Deathstroke escaped the crime scene. Mainly, he made use of a giant driller machine. By God, that sort of gear, this must be the work of the Underminer. Oh, no, wait, sorry, wrong universe. The good guys are most definitely through the looking glass now. Someone wanted really badly to frame Deathstroke, but why? And speaking of the Terminators, we check on over with him and his cloned son Respawn. They're currently doing battle with a small army of ninjas that were sent after them. Slade equally doesn't have any idea what's going on right now, but he knows that these ninjas are out for blood. He also begins to realize that his own goons within the Secret Society of Supervillains aren't exactly the most loyal folks around. Prometheus buggers off the second the going gets tough, and Deadline ends up getting himself killed when he comes face to face with one of the League of Assassins' brand new members. This lady calls herself Angel Breaker, and if you thought Joshua Williamson had left behind the anime influences in the Robin book, you're sorely mistaken, because this lady might very well be the most anime-looking DC character who ever animated. I mean, look at her. She fights with two swords, has long white hair, some sort of weird face covering, and oh yeah, did I mention her name is Angel Breaker? Actually, I'll have you know in the original Japanese, it's Baka no Angel Breaker. With the tide quickly turning against them, Deathstroke and Respawn are forced to abandon their base of operations before the whole building gets destroyed by detonator. And you know what? The more chances I get to say the names of forgotten C and D-list villains, the more I end up actually loving this book. Joshua Williamson knows exactly how easy a lay I am for this kind of material. Now, at the end of the Alpha issue, Robin, Damian Wayne, swore a bloody revenge against Deathstroke for what he did to Ra's al Ghul, and to get to the Terminator, Robin has decided to enlist the help of his daughter, Ravager. Ravager takes barely any convincing at all to get even with her father. If you'll remember from the end of the last Deathstroke Inc. storyline, Respawn had turned on her in favor of their father the second the two were actually introduced to one another. Also, hey, art error number 2, either Deadline is drinking in this bar with Ravager, or it's a guy who looks so much like him he could be his twin. Now back over with Batman, he pretty much jumps to the conclusion that Talia al Ghul must be the one behind her father's death. After all, the demon's head dying greatly benefits her. Now she controls the entire Al Ghul empire without any resistance. And I mean, yeah, on paper, it's easy to see why Batman would believe that. Talia didn't want to turn herself in alongside Ra's, but went along with the plan anyway, after she had defeated her enemies in Leviathan and after she had reconstituted the Shadows, meaning that she essentially had the most to lose. In fact, Talia has even gone a step further by giving herself a moniker similar to her father's. She's not the demon's head, she's the demon's shadow now. Hell, she's even wearing her own high-collared Ra's cape right now, which is one of those ideas I'm shocked they haven't done earlier. Batman fights his way past an army of ninjas using a sai no less, which is a very fun image in and of itself, and it doesn't take long for Bruce and Talia to talk things out and realize that Talia is innocent. I mean, come on, things were actually better between her and her father than they have been in hundreds of years. Why would she kill him now? The conversation also ends up taking one hell of a maternal twist once Talia realizes that Batman lost track of Damian and that he's out there in the world looking for his own revenge on Deathstroke. And you know what? While the Dark Knight may still very well have a long way to go to reconcile reconcile with his son, being here now for Talia during one of the worst periods in her life when she can't even trust the Lazarus pits anymore, actually seems to go a very long way to reignite the fires between these two former lovers. Oh wow, someone tell Damian his mom and dad might be getting back together again as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Batman issue number 122, everyone, and overall I enjoyed the issue, even if I felt it wasn't really all that consequential for the bigger Shadow War storyline. In fact, we honestly don't learn much new information here that we didn't already know in the alpha. Also, while I can very much appreciate Joshua Williamson trying to do a whodunit detective story in this much bigger summer blockbuster supervillains versus assassins sort of tale, it did, however, kind of get on my nerves by the end that this Batman is so prone to keep jumping to crazy conclusions over and over again. Deathstroke shot Ra's, even though he hasn't worn that costume in years. Ah, well, Talia definitely paid him to do it because she wanted to take over the organization. It's just, I think the better type of Batman detective stories are when he's willing to dot his T's and cross his I's and cross-reference and not just go running off. Now, admittedly, this is more of a family-centric matter for Batman, so maybe it's clouding his judgment, who can say for sure. I do also kind of love the idea of Bruce and Talia rekindling their romantic relationship, even if it is only for this one story. It's a fun relationship and one we haven't seen in a very long time, as most Batman romance stories over the last 4 to 5 years have all been very Catwoman-centric. Overall, I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. Shadow War continues to be pretty fun and excited, and I'm definitely interested to pick up the Robin and Deathstroke issues as well.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Ghul again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Ghul channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way, everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.